Hi, this is Matthew from Everybody Community, working on the Five Steps project. I got inspired by this meme here. A man's true wealth is the good he does in the world. Now, this has been something that I can't take any credit for it, but I was born with this kind of a goal. So that's why I got into religions. I've been involved in at least a half a dozen religions of different types in a very deep way, looking to do good in the world because I thought religion was related to that. Now I found that it's actually quite the opposite. Be that as it may, some people I want to pick on. Some people I want to pick on today are investors. I want to pick on the people that are not doing impact projects. And what is an impact project anyway? Talk about social impact. This definition is extremely fuzzy. It's extremely fuzzy, extremely non-specific, and can be kind of irrelevant because I talk about this little girl. I call her the bucket girl. Maybe you've seen that picture of her in Yemen. She's in a bucket. She's being weighed. She's these people in Yemen, because of the war that the USA is supporting, they're having to relocate because they don't want their house to be bombed. So they're trying to go to what's a safer area. But when they go to this safer area, they're starving. I plan to go to Yemen this year. I'm working right now on a visa to go there. I want to see firsthand what's going on there. I want to try to understand more so that I can share that with more people. But when we talk about impact investing, let's get back to that. Let's get back to venture capitalists and angel investors and the guys with the big money that are helping to push forward certain technologies and certain advances. Not so much from my experience about that technology, the advancement. That can be kind of exciting to some people if you find some new medical instrument or some new breakthrough with biology where you can save lives. That's really great. But the bucket girl's starving now, and there are 14,000, depending upon who you talk to, could be 30,000, could be less. The number I pick is 14,000 because that number is significant enough in itself. I don't have to keep researching exactly. But what we do know is 14,000 children between the ages of 0 and 5 years old die every single day to treatable causes. Now, these are preventable causes. These are things that could be solved, but they're not being solved. So when you talk about doing an impact investment, and that impact investment is going to make the screen, the LCD screen on the monitor clearer, so there's a higher number of pixels for machines in the operating room. But really, this could be exciting technology, but actually the patient is bleeding out. So the clearer screen, is that going to directly impact the life of this little girl? Is it going to save her life? Not really. It's almost like a religion. The cowardice, the weakness, the hypocrisy. You don't get it's not getting past me. You're not getting past me or anyone else who has the integrity to think clearly about 14,000 children die every day, and you're making a new gadget. Maybe it's a little bit exciting. Maybe it's going to help people in some way. Maybe it's going to make their iPhone take clearer pictures or be able to take a picture of the moon. Wonderful. The little girl's still dying, 14,000. That number is not changing. And the ridiculous, crazy thing about it is we're able to really change that and make a big difference overnight. We could do that with the resources that we have on Earth, the technology that we have, the transportation systems, the food, the weapons to protect these kids from war, from being abused and killed, like the Hindus are doing to the Muslims right now in India. It's an absolute mess, or what the Israelis, the Zionists, are doing to the Palestinians in their own home, where they've been hundreds and hundreds of years they've been living there, and suddenly some people come from Eastern Europe or something, and they think, oh, this is my land. They've never been there. Nobody in their family's ever been there. But so there's some incredible murders that are going on as well, and that's beyond just these 14,000 kids. So the world is an absolute complete chaotic mess. Meanwhile, we've got this privileged group of investors. And I've seen this, I've talked to these guys, I've watched these guys think, I watch what they do. And when you talk about humanitarian needs, when you talk about saving this little girl and these 14,000 little kids that are dying, they're not interested. They have not been interested. None of the people I've talked to so far. I've been trying to reach these people for months and months now. So IT advancements just totally cracks me up, because it's cowardly. Why is it cowardly? Because people don't want to deal with that Goliath. You know, we're these Davids. We have this compassion in our hearts, and we want to slay this giant Goliath that's in the way. But it becomes very, very personal, doesn't it? It becomes an issue where we have to say, I have to take a chance, and I have to act on my compassion, and I have to overcome obstacles. And there are a dozen obstacles at least. And one of the key obstacles is, I don't know where the money's going. It's going on. Look it up. Find out, investigate where the money's going. If you care about these 14,000 kids, if you have compassion in your heart, which you do, even if it's covered with a bunch of gold coins and cash and boats and cars and houses and real estate and all the important IT investments that you're making that are going up, even if your compassion is covered with all that crap, your compassion's still there because you're a human being. Very, very few of us are not. Very few of us are not compassionate. Less than 1%. But most all of us have that, but we covered it up with a bunch of crap. And where's the hypocrisy? Where's the weakness? It's in culture. Oh, I can't think outside my culture. I'm going to believe. You know, it reminds me of religions that go into an area and they're passing out dogma in the form of speeches, in the form of, I'll give you food if you pray first. I'll give you a Bible, or I'll give you a holy book so that you can study that holy book. You're not empowering the person, you're brainwashing them. So empowering a person, it lets them think for themselves. It lets them decide, do I want to believe this dogma or this or whatever? What's going to make me better at surviving in the world? People don't care about that, but this is kind of what these investors are doing. They're not so much thinking about empowering people. They're thinking about exploitation. It's as simple as that. There are good rich people, and they can give a lot, and they can help make big changes in the world. But these guys are few and far between, and most of it is just baloney. Most of it is not really making a difference. Why? Because we've got the evidence. It's canary in the coal mine. We've got this absolute true evidence that you can't run away from, you coward. You can't run away from 14,000 children dying every day. So I really believe this. It's up to you whether or not you want to believe it, whether or not you want to accept it, whether or not you want to deny it, or whether or not you want to say I'm wrong. Maybe I am wrong. I'm open to being wrong. Tell me how I'm wrong. A man's true wealth is the good he does in the world. And if you think making a new widget for your iPhone is doing good in the world, you're an idiot. I have no respect for that kind of weakness. I have no respect for that kind of cowardice. I speak not for myself. I'm fine. I don't want any of your freaking money. But think about these kids. Think about these dying kids. If you've got a heart, if you got compassion, if you got a conscience, if you have integrity, you're going to do something about that. You're going to focus on that. You're going to contact me if you need help, because that's what I do for free. I help people to find out, okay, how can I help? How can I make a real impact? Not just this BS word, oh, it's impact because it's helping the screen be clearer in the hospital gadget, and I'm going to make $100 million this year. No, not that kind of BS. But we're talking about really lowering that number from 14,000 as low as we possibly can by serving these people that are in the greatest need, not your iPhone users. They don't need crap. Who needs it? These children that are dying in their mother's arm to the tune of 14,000 a day. These are the people who really need your help. So if you're going to evaluate priorities in an honest way, in a way with integrity, in a way where you have courage, not such blatant, ridiculous cowardice that you and your team of buddies go along with on Wall Street, but you want to look at things clearly, you're going to contribute to the people who are the most underserved, the ones that are in the most need. Why? Why do I do it? I do it because if I were in that situation, I would want someone to care. If I were dying in my mother's arms from malnourishment, or because I've got terminal diarrhea from drinking water with worms in it or other bacteria, parasites in it, and I'm dying, the mother can't get close. She's not near a hospital. She can't get, doesn't have a motorbike or a car to get there. There's no bus system. There's no hospital that can help. Maybe the line is a mile long, people waiting to get treatment. The medicine's not available. There are many, many reasons that some people don't have the infrastructure so that they can save lives. And I think this is a ridiculous thing, because if I were in that situation, I grew up very privileged. I was born in Los Angeles, grew up in Chicago. I've been to 53 countries, and I know how to start my own business. I've done it since I was 16. I know how to earn my own money, and I've got that whole infrastructure around me. I speak English. I'm white. These are privileges in this world. I was born, in the United States. There's all this opportunity, but I've been around the world. I've seen the poverty. I've seen the people that they don't have access to the things I had access to. I could go to the library. I think I was 6 years old. I started going to the library and studying anything I want. I had my own library card. These kids barely have a home. My folks put a roof over my head. They gave me nutritious food. I was safe from the rain. I was safe from infectious water. I was safe from all these things. I am a privileged guy. I was born and raised privileged, and I'm still privileged. But I'll be damned if I'm going to ignore the people that are not. And you'll be damned too if you ignore them. Contact me if you want to talk about this. If you want some free help to kind of think through and decide, okay, do I want to do something? Would I really want to do something? Do I really want to do some good in the world and not be a total cowardly hypocrite? Thanks for listening.